Welcome back from the break. We are now starting our UW's featured Overwatch game. I am Nelson with the game handle of Panda Bear 15, and I will bring you this game featuring UW's Esports Overwatch team versus Northwood. Now, as some of you may know, Northwood is considered one of the best Overwatch collegiate teams that's out there. And so the UW Overwatch team may just have to run for their money here. This is a Tespa game, and it looks like our first game is going to be on Busan. So let's see how these two teams will match up in just a moment. Okay. And it looks like our first map is going to be on the Mecha base. And let's see the teams rolling out. It looks like that the UW Esports is looking to put on Trivia on the Smasher, just TP out fast. On Northwood side, it looks like we have Tracer Echo, more dive type, along with the Wrecking Ball. So and also dive tanks as well with Diva and Winston on the UW side. So look for it as more divey dive. They also have the Sigma from this Northwood as a Cowman, well, he just eats a lot of damage and goes down immediately. That's a big part of the dive just gone. Now, that does get rezzed up. Dynasty's falling low, but he gets healed back up from the Mercy Puck and then takes out Mad Cow. Cowman does go down against around a 5v5, but then both DPS are now down from the UW Esports side, and, well, UW, they're just going to have to back out and try to not lose too much on the ult charge game. And even though you saw the Wrecking Ball go down early, the res really came in big, and then eventually the DPS of UW, they just weren't able to stand up. Well, we do see a very early pick coming out from Platypus, getting a nice headshot onto Tyler. So again, there's a big part of the dive gone, and now the Echo goes down, and this isn't looking too good now for Northwood side. The amplification matrix is invested, but I don't know how much that can do now that this is essentially a 3v6. Nano comes down onto the Winston, and the Tracer, well, she has to retreat to get a health pack, and it looks like the cap's probably going to come down a little shortly, and Northwood, well, they've all secured themselves 39% as percent, now starts ticking up for the UW side. Now, looking at the ultimate economy, it looks like that the Northwood, they're going to come up on a duplicate. UW, they're going to have a self-destruct. Hook comes in. The Winston's falling low, but he gets healed up, and he's going to be able to get out. Bob comes in now from Platypus, is going to offer extra control of the point as Dynasty decides to duplicate and gets huge value. He picks both the Brig and the Ash, and now Mags and Mad Cow, they're going to fall. The Diva, Stealth Ninja, he wisely decided to just hold on to his ultimate and just wait for next fight to re-engage. And that was a well executed dive and duplicate from the Echo there. Gets 2 picks. There's a pulse bomb and gets another kill with no mercy on the side of UW, and yet another kill coming from Dynasty. This will probably have to be another reset, but in Northwood, they aren't letting it happen, and they're just gonna keep getting more picks, and Northwood, they're just gonna push up almost to UW spawn. They're still getting more picks. Now Dynasty, he's falling low, and he might actually just fall to his death here, and well, how much is that going to matter is how far that Northwood is pushed up here. Yes, there's a pick there, and actually now both healers are down, and UW Esports, they're actually committing to an engage now, and with no healers, actually both healers coming from respawn, UW, well, they actually managed to punish Northwood, getting a bit too happy with their very offensive push all the way to spawn. So now the point's going to be flipped back in UW's favor, 88 to about 50% now. UW, they will have the nano boost to work with, as the duplicate has to come in from Northwood to try to just to stay alive, but he gets taken out and goes down anyway. And now with Landon also going down from Northwood, well, I don't know how much that Northwood can continue to engage this particular fight. Akash is low, and Bob comes out from Platypus, and I don't know how much more that this can go on. It looks like this is probably just going to be a reset now from Northwood. If we take a look at what's coming up for our next fight, Mags is still holding on to this nano boost, and it looks like we just have a Valkyrie on the side of Northwood. In addition, Tripiev's working towards a Pulse Bomb Night Throws, going to almost have that rally from the Brig, and well executed dive from the dive tanks and Dynasty. He's just going to drop immediately as overtime wick is starting to burn on the side of UW. No Mercy, well, she's gonna get that res off, and actually Mad Cow's gonna get punished for trying to stop the res. Calvin tries to use the whole hug, gets bashed immediately, goes down. That's a lot of picks for UW, and overtime wick is not going to last too much longer, and that's the first round actually going over to UW. They're having a very coordinated dives and oftentimes able to get picks, trade effectively. You saw at a time when North was trying to get really aggressive, push into the UW spawn, and well, the UW, they managed to find both healers in that particular case, and they eventually managed to win the re-engage. Very good dives coming in UW side, and it looks like they're actually putting up a really good fight against the arguably best UW collegiate team that is out there. Now, it looks like for the second point, doesn't look like we're going to have too much of a comp swap. We're still seeing, well, actually, Tyler is now going to be on the Ashe for Northwood, and so this is going to feature a little more pick potential against the Tracer and against some more backline. As we see these two teams, they're just trading out, but all of a sudden, Mad Cow goes under half health, and then the focusing beam just comes in, and and then he goes down. Now, Platypus does manage to find a pick onto Tyler, but the pick gets traded out immediately, and this is starting to become quite the scrappy fight. Tracer goes low, has to back up, but he can't, and now all the picks are coming in from Northwood, and this is probably going to be Northwood first cap. Indeed it is, and Northwood, they're going to start to pick up percentage here. Tripiev now is going to have a pulse bomb. Landon's going to have an immortality feat, and sorry, not an immortality feat, an amplification matrix. But pulse bomb is committed, doesn't get any picks. That's okay though, and now the Nano Boost is going to be coming online for Max. However, Focusing Beam's going to pick up Platypus, and the Tracer also goes down. Great sleep, but there's not going to be any follow-up available because everyone from UW Esports, they're just falling to pieces. And now I say that this dive is so effective. Trivia has to switch off the Tracer and start picking up the McCree, try to provide some threats to this Echo and this Tracer, these dive DPS here. So now looking towards the next fight, we still have the Nano Boost for UW, and Nicer is going to have this rally too. But now we are looking at 4-5 volts for the UW Esports. That being said, Akash tries to put down the minefield, but goes down for it, but does catch a Trivia. And also Mad Cow is going to go down as well, and so even though the switch to McCree happened, the McCree goes down, and you just can't do anything. You don't get any value from trying to stop these dive DPS here. Interesting commit from for the rally, given that they're down a few players, but these are the respawns that are coming back. In addition, the Bob is gonna be put down for Platypus, and is actually getting some value. They find the Mercy just a little out of position, and look at Landon. He has the amplification matrix and puts out the immortality field for himself. Doesn't get anything, and now the Winston is coming for him, and well, you aren't gonna have a good day against Primaling Winston. Duplicate comes in, is immediately slept, but he gets woke. The Echo gets woken up, but still can't do much with the Duplicate. Does get the pick, however, onto Max, and then onto Trivia. Hello? What are you doing? And he's going to get 3 picks, helped contribute to 3 picks rather, before going down. But still, that's gonna be enough to get the recap, as the UW did manage to get the flip during that chaotic fight. But but eventually the point's just going to take over to 100 and no one can get bodies on the point. And so that's going to be now 1-1 on the side of, on even terms between Northwood and UW Esports. And I think what we saw on that previous point is that, well, the dive was just too well coordinated from the side of Northwood, and it was, and you saw the swap happen. Trivia trying to go to McCree, but that just didn't work out. The picks were still coming in, and also there's just a bit of that clutch factor too with some of these longer fights. The Northwood is just consistently coming on top, getting the clutch picks that just allow them to get through. And now we're finally onto Sanctuary for the deciding point of this map. See that actually now, UW Esports, they're going to be running Mercy. Baptiste and Zen, and Northwood is still running the Mercy as last time. This little Tracer v Tracer duel, and Dynasty has to recall a little early, but the Trivia had recalled earlier, so it doesn't really matter too much. Platypus, he's gonna find a pick onto Akash, so is Northwood gonna be able to get that res off? Doesn't look like it. Tyler also goes down. Immortality Field does go down, and actually, Nitro's gonna go down after the Immortality Field just runs the course. But Trivia, he's going a little crazy. He's gonna pick up the Morv on the back line, and well, even with those heroics from Nitro's, 3 more picks coming on the side of Nitros, and there's only the Sigma and Orisa trying to control the point. Now there's only Mad Cow goes down and Stealth Ninja with no heals to support you. Well, that's just gonna happen. And so even though UW Esports picked up 16%, we're still gonna ultimately have to fight win go over to Northwood. And oh, that's unfortunate late pick for side of UW. That's a great aim from Landon there to secure the volley onto Trivia. Now looking into this next fight, we're gonna have 4 ults from the side of UW, and Bob's gonna come in from Northwood. And well, the Deadeye is just gonna pick up Akash straight away, and that's a big part of the dive gone. That being said, the Northwood, they're just running they aren't running the Echo Tracer, they're running Ash Tracer, but still that's a lot of your re-engage gone. But that doesn't matter. Again, Northwood just coming in clutch, even down your primary aggressive engage with Akash on the Wrecking Ball. It doesn't matter, as Northwood, they're just so clutch in these situations. Down 5v6, they still find the picks that they need in order to win the fight. Now they're ticking over to above 60%, and right as UW are engaged, here's the Gravitic Flux, forces out the Immortality Field. When Akash, he gets stunned up again and taken down, but that causes enough chaos in order for Dynasty to find pick. Now that's 2 pulse bombs actually that get eaten up from the Sigmas respectively against the Tracers, and now but now the morals are being forced out. Landon's going to be using that Transcendence here, but now Kalman goes down, Morv goes down. That's a lot of healing gone from the side of Northwood, and oh my god, Landon, stop! You're just getting more picks, and Northwood proving so clutch. Again, gets a 3rd pick. That's the 3rd. That's 3 now from the support line, and another one on another finishing blow into Mad Cow. Flip has come in, but this is 99% for Northwood, and even though again that looks so good initially for the side of UW, Northwood, they're just prove exceptionally clutch, and that's going to be the end of this first point. I mean, this 3rd point and the first game, and Northwood, they're going to take the first map of Busan. And I think what we saw there is that, well, Akash, he goes in from the side of Northwood, gets that engaged, that pile driver. He may go down for it, but with all of the resources being diverted into into the Wrecking Ball engage, whether that was flashbang or maybe the immortality field to keep players up or whatever it was. There's enough resources coming out to the Wrecking Ball. Sure, it goes down, but then there just aren't enough resources to contain the rest of the clutch Northwood team, and they just are able to come in and just take out the remaining members. And it looks like well, we're about to get ready to go onto our next map already. So, so it looks like the next map that they're going to choose is going to be Hyper Map, and it looks like UW, they're going to choose to bring us to Numbani. So it looks like we're about to get started here. And I'd expect a pretty similar strategies. Now we have Northwood on the red and UW on the blue, so don't be fooled by the change of colors. And we're going to have now this classic dive defense from our side UW. You know how much that these UW players, Mad Cow, and Stealth Ninja, they love to be on this Winston Tracer dive. But actually, the DPS lineup is looking a little different. They're running the McCree and Ash, so it's going to be the dive tanks who are going to be responsible for initiating here. Now, on the side of Northwood, you're seeing actually a Genji being rolled out here by Tyler, and so you're with the Genji and Ana, you're gonna have this win condition of the nano boost, and well, Dynasty, well, he's just gonna get 2 picks. What can I say? I mean, this guy's insane. Now, Trivia's going to be able to trade back, but that's a little too much damage already, and well, the rest of you dubs, they're just gonna fall to pieces, and that's gonna be a really quick first cap probably from the side of Northwood, unless UW are able to get bodies back. But look how far that Northwood is pushing. Stealth Ninja, he's just gonna die on point. Mad Cow is going to try to get some sort of engage, but it's not even on point, and it looks like, yeah, Cap's already there. Landon does go down, but he's gonna have close spawns, so there's nothing much that UW's gonna be able to do. Dirk's gonna need to wait for a full regroup. Nice shot there, but that's not gonna matter. Now, Tyler's sitting at 66% towards this Dragon Blade, and we all know how deadly this Nano Blade can be, especially since the UW, they aren't rolling a Lucio or Zen to provide any defensive utility towards that, stopping the Nano Blade. Now, that being said, Stealth Ninja, he actually manages to get Cowman just off the map. Cowman now running the Wrecking Ball instead of Akasha, unlike what we saw in the previous map. But now, Nano Blade, it's gonna be almost all on. You've gotta imagine that the Nano Blade engage is about to start. And actually no, the picks are coming and Cowman gets 2. It's a Pile Driver and Mines, and Northwood, they look like they might just be able to hold on and use the Nano Blade to try to win out the second point instead. And these dives here, both Sakash and Cowman look to be insanely good wrecking balls, be able to generate all the space that their team could ask for. They're pushing on to 3rd point already. What's Dynasty doing here? What was he doing? He doesn't have ult. He's not looking to get any fancy flank Deadeye, but regardless of that, the Northwood, with all the space they took, they just capped 2nd point for free, and they still are holding on to the Nano Blade. Now, Dynasty, he was all alone, all by himself. He predictably goes down, and now the UW Esports, they're going to invest the Nano Blade onto the Winston to just force the UW out. But here's the Nano Blade and the Sound Barrier on top, and well, no defensive ult means that you aren't going to be able to do anything about that. Only the Winston survives, but that's because he had Primal, and now things are looking a little rough here for UW. You're gonna have a High Noon, you're gonna have a Primal in order to try to buy space to cap this last point, and UW, they only got a Bob to put on the point, try to contest. Bob's gonna get slept though, and so I don't know how much that's gonna help. And this Deadeye is just gonna zone all of the UW players off the point, and they're just all going down because they can't contest point, and the dive is just too good from Tyler and Cowman, and that's going to be 4 minutes 31 seconds on the time bank. for Northwood on this offense. That is quite the sizable time bank. That's more time than you actually get to start with on when you do attack on Numbani. So, how is UW going to respond to this? Because Northwood, their dives were just incredibly good with the wrecking ball actually played by Count, and he was not getting picked as much as Akash, so I think he might actually be the better wrecking ball in this particular setup. But you saw like how often the Northwood were able to just get the good first engage and find a pick onto a support or onto a DPS. The dive engage from UW Esports that just was didn't matter that much because yes, you're engaging, you're trying to buy space for your team, but it doesn't matter if your backline or your DPS are just getting picked by the counter dive from Northwood. And so it looks like there's going to be a break pick coming out from Nitros, hoping to at least provide some value against the Genji, but these high-level Genjis, they're so good at working around Briggs. And so I don't know how much that's going to be able to help UW beat back this very aggro dive coming out. That being said, we are seeing a Hanzo pick and a Zarya coming from Northwood, so this isn't as dive as we had previously. Here's the engage from the UW tanks, but Macau, he drops slow. He has to disengage. Stealth Ninja loses the mech, and Dynasty finds a headshot on Tracer. So that's the first fight, just rebuffed pretty quickly, just like that. While everyone just scrambles to try to get out with their lives, and part of the problem of playing this trying to play this dive on the offense here is that, well, how's the Tracer going to get value here? Because the Northwood, they're just set up on the high ground here, and that's the place that Tracer has to wrap all the way around in order to try to get value. Other than that, it's just the tanks and the Echo, and, well, that wasn't able to get much value from this heavy frontline damage with the Hanzo, Zarya, and whatnot. Now we see the next dive coming from the next fight, and they actually do get 2 picks this time. They're traded out, though, and now it's a 3v4. Rez comes in onto Tyler, and this looks like now numbers disadvantage down 2 on the side of UW Esports. And it looks like they're just going to have to back out again, and now Ultimate, they're starting to come out online. Now, Tyler, he does not have an Ana here, as Landon is playing the Zen. Dynasty, are you okay there? Well, it's just standing still, gets taken out by a pulse bomb. Don't know if the Rez is there, but for now it's 5v6. The Rez is able to come through because Landon pops the Transcendence. Actually, he uses Transcendence to keep his front line alive through the dive. Here comes the Dry Blade, and, well, he probably didn't even need to invest that as everyone was already falling already. As that's yet another fight that's rebuffed by Northwood. And now we see there's 3 ults, including the Dragon Strike and the Graviton from the side of Northwood. That's an early grab that's going into the sky. Is this some kind of big brain play? It catches a Tracer. Oh no! That's someone's highlight clip for sure. And now they're just investing ults going into the enemy spawn. Akash gets the pick on the Nitros. Now that being said, Dynasty goes down, and by how far forward that they're pushed, well, it actually doesn't matter because the rest is there from Morb. And now there's back to full force, 6 players alive, and they're just, UW has no space to work with whatsoever here. And they also only have 1 ultimate to their name. Platypus is now on the Hanzo, just trying to get a pick onto someone. But that's another character that, oh! That's a really nice shot from Platypus that comes in onto Tyler and actually stops the just a regular blade in his tracks. Of course, there's no Ana here, but look at where this grab is. It's right outside the UW spawn. There's no respect at all coming from Northwood. They're gonna take as much space as they can. And they're actually might be getting punished a little bit for this hubris, as there's three picks that come in for UW, and again, there's just a little bit of overaggression. Oh no, Valkyrie is popped from Nicers because there's a flanking Zen that pressured to Mercy so much she just had to use it. Now Zen's probably gonna go down here, but that's about as much value as you would want, given that you're a flanking Zen that's trying that on your lonesome there. Now, picks are being traded back and forth, but it looks like UW. It looks like they're coming on top here, and so they're at least going to be able to capture the payload and starts the streaks phase. And Northwood not showing too much respect to UW. Maybe they should have shown a little more respect there, because then they might have just had the first point full hold, hands down. But that's okay. There's a lot of time left. There's a lot of space left to go here, and well, that's a nice pick. And actually, this is a good dive engage coming out as they get a second pick onto the Zen here. That's gonna buy more space. But Akash, he's just gonna primal, gonna jump in the back line to cause some disturbance, try to get some stuff done. Doesn't care that they're down 2 people. That being said, it doesn't feel like it got that much value. Dragon Strike comes through to block off this entire tunnel here, picks up Akash. A Dynasty, he's on the Widow, picks up Trivia, and this Widow, now UW, they have to respect all these satellites, and well, Platypus didn't respect it, and he predictably gets shut down, and you have to just respect these Widows at these extremely high elos. Now, here's the engage minefield coming in from Cowman, and the blade comes down, and well, there's no one to slice and dice, but doesn't matter. The Diva's dead, and while UW, they're currently dealing with a 5v6, and as Dynasty, the Tracer and Trivia just tries to get the pick onto him, but doesn't work out. Landon's going to use Trance to push up even further, and again, no respect for the spawns of UW, and so far there's no punish. Now, there's no picks either, but I say that Dynasty decides to just cast a Curse Me, get a pick onto Platypus, and again, UW, they're down a pick. And they have the Valkyrie right now, but other than that, they only got the Amplification Matrix. On the other side, you got Infra side, you got Nano Boots, which they invest onto the Wrecking Ball to make him even more durable going in for these dives. But that is several picks, and Platypus actually picks up several. Tyler just tries to go into the UW spawn and just gets picked for it. And again, most of the fights that Northwood are losing is because they aren't showing that much respect towards UW. They're pushing it super duper far. That being said, now these teams now are more neutral ground, fighting over the cart like you would expect most teams to. And now we've gone to overtime. This overtime takes burning down, and Platypus is down, Mags is down, and then the Dynasty gets the pick on a trivia, and this is looking super rough for UW, and there's no ults to use. Everyone's picked. It's a team wipe. All the ultimates come out from Northwood. Doesn't even matter, and that is game, set, and match for Northwood. Congratulations to Northwood for being able to get through UW, and yeah, those are some really good dives from Northwood against the UW. Now, they did get punished just a little bit when they got a little too confident, but overall, Northwood, man, that's some really one clutch plays, as we saw there in map 1, and then 2 just great dive executions, getting the picks, and then at towards the end there. At the end there, you got the Dynasty, who was just pretty consistently getting picks onto the enemy sniper Platypus on the Hanzo. And so that's gonna wrap it up here. This is 2-0, a win for Northwood. Congratulations to them, and I think that's going to wrap it up for us here. Thank you for coming and spending your time with us, watching the University of Washington esports stream on Twitch. please remember to check us out on U of Washington's Esports on most platforms. On YouTube is UW Esports, and join the Discord if you're interested in volunteering and you're a UW student. With that, we're gonna wrap it up. So have a great night, and we will see you next week.